Hello everyone, welcome back to another session of the Ocean Tile series, and today we are going to be drawing another tile based on the same theme. Yes, and today I am again going to start with a background tangle. It is a tangle which is somewhat like the tangle BUNZO, yes, but I am not going to be inking any of the strands or bands just like we do for bunzo. I'm not going to ink them. Yes, I'm just going to draw these beautiful auras in this shape just the way we do for bunzo, the C stroke. Yes, and I'm going to fill up my entire tile with this, something like the tangle paste that we drew in the previous session. Yes, just that the paste is more like the tangle flux. Yes, and you add auras. Here the shape is a little different because it is somewhat derived from the tangle bunzo. The tangle is also called WHIRLS. Yes, again a beautiful tangle, nice texturing tangle. Yes, and looks somewhat like waves, sea waves. So I thought, why not use this tangle today? So you can draw behind, draw the way you wish to, auras or C shapes just the way we do for bunzo. I'm not taking it anywhere, I'm not maneuvering the shape, not playing around with the shape much, keeping the shape the way it is. Bunzo, you can take it anywhere you wish to. Yes, you can maneuver the shape by changing the direction of the auras. So that is something I'm not doing here and sticking to my basic. Yes, you can take it right till the ends, as many auras as you wish to, hidden behind. Something like this. Yes. So I'm going to continue like this. Please take your time. I think you got some idea about how this is going to be. Remember, the strokes are similar to that of bunzo, just that I'm drawing it in a certain fashion and not taking it just any and everywhere. Yes, looks nice. Waves. Slowly take your time and fill up the entire tile in the same fashion. So I'm almost finishing drawing my background. C shapes. Take your time. Don't haste up. Yes. So just small space left here. Take your time. And that's about it. Yes, so our background is ready. So I'm going to be using a mix of tangles, starting first with some POKEROOTS. Yes, but with a difference, because I am going to be inking my POKEROOTS, and that's what would add drama to my tile, to this style of mine. Yes, so as you draw your POKEROOT, just leave a highlight, leave the stem intact, and ink the rest. Yes, adds great drama. Make sure you ink it nicely. Yes, so let's add few more. I'm going to add some big ones. Leave a highlight. You can draw behind. Leave a highlight and slowly ink the rest. I'm using a bolder nib. I'm working with an 08. Yes, since we are drawing over an already tangled tile, using a bolder nib would help. So slowly take your time, ink the poke roots. You can see the drama that it adds to our tile. Let's add a few more. So along with this, since we need some kind of leaves, I'm going to start with a tangle called FEATHERFALL in the form of leaves. So there is a center inked section, and then I'm going to add auras on both sides. Something like this. Or you can say it is a tangle called Micron. Yes, and it just has an inked portion in between. Yes, you can call it that also. So I'm adding a inked portion in between. That's how the tangle feather fall is also drawn, just that it is drawn on a stem. And then adding auras on both sides. Again, a nice beautiful tentacle shape. Ink it and then add auras on both sides. Close auras will make it look better. Also similar to a tangle called Micron. Take your time. Yes, looks nice. Let's add one or two more poke roots. And extend it to another tangle. You can draw WHIRLS. You can also draw ICANTHIS. Yes, let's see if we want to add some ICANTHIS today. You can also go with a tangle called WHIRLS. Will look a beautiful seaweed. Yes, WHIRLS in the form of sun. Let's do ICANTHIS. So I'm going to add a center stem. Yes, and then I'm going to start with these, and then I'm going to kind of connect the next one, not really starting with the branches, drawing it more like a petal shape. Something like this. Yes, and then I'm going to add those branches, stems, for the stems, and I'm going to ink these sections in between. Somewhat like the tangle ICANTHIS, but drawn a little differently. Yes, so I'm going to add a few more. You can also add a curl. like this. You can add some extra weight here and there. Add some more of these Micron. Yes, feel free to place some nice stipple here and there. Probably I'm going to add one more ICANTHIS, something like this, and then you can also draw it like this. Yes, first draw the stem, add the curve, add the nice U, and then connect them. Something like this, U, U, and then connect them. Yes, you can draw it like this also. In between islands which are formed, would be nice if you can ink it or add some extra ink there if they are not islands, because it adds to the look of this tangle ICANTHIS. Yes, so let's add some more of this Micron, or you can add some hollis coming out. Let's use hollis. Yes, and to give it the look of seaweeds, probably converting the hollis into sun, a tangle called sun, is a good idea. Yes, so we have these nice petal shapes over the hollis, and you can add some dots here, and similarly you can extend it the way you want. Some of the hollis can be just plain and simple. Yes, take your time. Drawing the tangle sun, an extension of the tangle hollis. Yes, I've drawn some nice petal shapes over the hollis, adding some dots inside the petal shape like this. Feel free to add some orbs here and there. And some extra ink, especially when you are working with ICANTHIS. Yes. Adding one more of these beautiful poke roots. Now up here I'm going to add the tangle called PORK, but we'll try and give it the form of a sea creature. Yes, so let's add 2 small loops, since we know the PORK starts with a loop. Yes, I've drawn 2 loops like these. Yeah, and then I'm going to draw slanting lines just the way we do for PORK. I'm working small here, so I'm switching my pen to PN. Slanting lines start with an orb in the center, add more orbs on both sides, try drawing behind, squeeze in orbs on both sides just like corn kernels, not drawing entire orbs. Yes, so that's one PORK. Similarly, I'll draw one more. The pencil reference helps you maintain a nice shape for the PORK. That's the only purpose. Generally start with the pencil loop and then start with the center line of orbs, and then fill up the entire section with orbs, drawing behind each time. Don't draw entire orbs. And then I'm going to give a slight twist, and I'm going to add some nice tentacle shapes coming from underneath. You can draw behind. Draw any ways you want, like this. Yeah, so I'm going to again add some more here. Some nice tentacle shapes. I don't know what it is looking like, but I'm just trying to give it the look of a sea creature. Use your own imagination. Use any other tangle. Make it look like something in the sea. That's it. I don't think we need to add anything else. Yes, let's first shade this much. This space which is empty here, I'm going to add 2 POKEROOTS and fill up the space. So this series is just about your choice of tangles. Yes, so you have so many Zentangle patterns floating around. Choose tangles that can help you create this kind of a magic. Yes, which looks somewhat like the underwater tangles. I have used a couple of them. You can use some others, or you can draw the same tiles differently. Entirely your choice. Yes, so let's first shade, and then we shall see if we want to do something else. For shading, again you have a choice. As I mentioned, you can use your brush pen, or you can use your black graphite. So I'm adding some shadow here. You can also add some at the ends so that we can highlight the in between. Yes, and use your water brush a little, not much. Make sure it is wet to blur the gray a little bit, not much. Make sure you don't cover the center, because we are going to highlight the center. Yes, as far as these perks are concerned, I'm going to add under these bands. Blend. Be patient when you are shading. Shading brings your tangles to life, so don't haste up. It is as important, and sometimes more important, a process, yes, than your tangling. So in this style we have tangled over a background. Yes, so shading will help you highlight your tangle, the foreground tangle, a little more if you do it nicely. So take your time, be patient. So I'm now going to add on this stem, and in a way blend on one side, making one side a little darker so I can highlight the other side. Yes, so taking away the gray and covering entire one side of my acanthus. Yes, let's now use our jelly roller a little before we go ahead. So these highlights can be further emphasized using the jelly roll, or you can keep it blue, that's entirely your choice. I can highlight my meringue or feather fall, whatever you want to call, by adding dots inside here. So these are embellishments or highlights, yes, which work wonders on colored tiles. So find those opportunities wherever you can use your jelly roll. Yes. And then I'm going to first use the chalk before. So let's first use our chalk. Yes. So highlight the center of the meringue where you have not added the gray watercolor. So as I mentioned earlier also, the white chalk and the jelly roll, the magic tools as far as working on colored surface. Make sure your chalk pencil is sharp enough. So we are going inside tiny spaces. Then I'm going to highlight the other side of my ICANTHIS. Yes, so we have added gray to one side and we are adding chalk to the other side like this. We may have to revisit some lines, so that's not an issue. First let us shade. Use a different blending stub. Soften the chalk if it is cakey. Yes, as far as the hollis is concerned, add chalk here to highlight these nice curls of your hollis. Yes, you can also shade a little inside these, just touching the inside petals. Not going to add much, just a touch, and then use your water brush just to add shadow on one side so you can touch your chalk on the other. Yes, highlighting the stems. You can also use your jelly roll to highlight the stems. Spaces are small, be patient. Touching the leaves with my white chalk. You have small tiny tipples here. You can very well add jelly roll inside them. They will get highlighted. Yes, and then I'm going to add jelly roll inside here. Well, we may have to revisit some lines. That's fine. Yes, so adding jelly roll inside. so that these tentacles kind of get highlighted like this. Yes, coming to our chalk, use your chalk here. Like this. If you want to highlight these bands, you can do that. Slight touches there. Yes, done with that. Let us now redo some of the lines that have gone hazy. So many of them have gone hazy because we have added chalk. So just revisit the lines after you have added chalk. Yes, some of these stems. Slowly go to each wherever you need to touch your black. Please do that. You can highlight these petals also. Slight touch with your chalk will help highlight. Yes, and then I'm just going to, after adding the jelly roll, the lines are somewhere a little hazy. Going to revisit some of the lines. Since they are thin, fragile, so just take care and revisit them. Yes, doing the same here. That's it. We are done. Yeah. You want to re-emphasize the dark, you can touch your pencil there. I don't think it's required. The contrast is quite visible. Yeah. So just make sure you have blended your chalk also and it is not patchy. Should be well blended. And that's it. Some more of mystic feel. If you want, you can always add some dots on your poke roots, which I'm not doing. You can add some dots here on the highlights, just a way to re-emphasize the highlight and adds a nice mystic feel. Some fine dots there. Yes, if you want, you can just probably 2 of them here. You can add some bit of mystic feel, but it's not required. Yeah, so that's about it. Let's close our tile here. I'm going to put my chop, or you can write your name, sign and date your tile. I shall see you again with one last wrap up session of the Ocean Tile series. Thank you, and I shall see you again. Bye bye.